So 2 now, and happening today, a hearing for the 2 men accused of kidnapping and assaulting women.
Their victims picked at random, and one of them came forward on Wednesday with some disturbing testimony. Nick Monticelli joins us now from Hamtramck. And Nick, we could hear from another victim today.
New details now on the men convicted of kidnapping and murdering 2 best friends from Hamtramck. Judge Vonda Evans called Reginald Brown an architect of death and sentenced him to mandatory life in prison for the murders of Ashley Conaway and
Exactly right, Rhonda. So there are several different cases, 3 cases in all from Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck. Today,
Abreeya Brown last winter. He also got between 20 and 50 years for torture and up to 15 years for unlawful imprisonment. Ashley Conaway's sister said even if all the men...
On a chilly night in the heart of Hamtramck, Michigan, in February 2012, the calm of Android Street was shattered by a terrifying incident that would leave an indelible mark on this small, close-knit community. Charles McGinnis, a concerned father, had just finished a shower and was eagerly awaiting the return of his 18-year-old stepdaughter, Abreeya Brown, and her 21-year-old best friend, Ashley Conaway, from a night out. Instead, the father was startled by blood-curdling screams. What followed would be a series of horrifying events that would lead to 2 disappearances, and subsequently the murder of 2 innocent women. If you enjoy exploring the darkest corners of the human psyche, subscribe to the channel for more true crime. Please be advised that the following video contains graphic depictions of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Hamtramck, a small city nestled within the Detroit metropolitan area in Michigan, is celebrated for its rich cultural diversity, vibrant food scene, festivals, and a strong sense of community. Immigrants from various corners of the world have made Hamtramck their home, resulting in a myriad of ethnic communities. The city's strong diversity has sparked creativity in its thriving arts scene. Local artists, musicians, and performers contribute to the cultural atmosphere. Art galleries, live music venues, and creative spaces are scattered throughout the city, providing platforms for both established and emerging talents. However, amidst the celebration of diversity and cultural vibrancy, Hamtramck is forever marked by a dark strain, the horrific crime that took place within its borders. The abduction and murder of 2 young women that cast a shadow over the city. Abreeya Brown was an 18-year-old woman known for her vibrant personality and determination. She had grown up in the close-knit community of Hamtramck and was deeply rooted in the town's cultural diversity. Abreeya was described as a caring and compassionate individual, always willing to lend a helping hand to those in need. She had dreams and aspirations, and was looking forward to a bright future before tragedy struck. Her close friendship with Ashley Conaway was a testament to the strong bonds she formed with those she cared about. At 21 years old, Ashley Conaway was a young woman with a promising future of her own. She had graduated as the valedictorian from Cleveland Intermediate School in 2008, showcasing her dedication to academic excellence. Ashley had a deep-seated passion for helping others, which led her to pursue a career in nursing. To support her education at Wayne County Community College, where she was studying nursing, Ashley worked part-time at a local Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant in St. Clair Shores. Her dedication to her studies and her aspiration to become a nurse were driven by her compassionate nature. Ashley's family and friends often spoke of her kindness and the love she had for those around her. Ashley and Abreeya's friendship had blossomed since their childhood, and they had chosen to live together in Hamtramck. But in 2012, one event would foreshadow their tragic fate. In early February 2012, Ashley found herself in a harrowing situation involving a man named Brandon Lewis Kane. Ashley had previously been romantically involved with Kane. Their relationship was toxic and at times volatile. He was dangerous and unpredictable, and on February 8, 2012, he showed just how dangerous he was. On that day, Abreeya Brown had gone to pick up Ashley Conaway from Kane's house in Detroit around 2 a.m. The night had started innocuously, with Ashley and Kane spending time at a topless bar. However, things took a dark and dangerous turn when they decided to leave Kane's home. As the women were preparing to depart, Kane made a menacing threat. He warned that he would have his friends shoot at the car if the women dared to leave. What was even more horrifying was that he allegedly instructed his friend to target Abreeya Brown first. This threat was not taken lightly, and it left the women in a state of fear and distress. In a courageous act of selflessness and quick thinking, Ashley decided to switch seats with Abreeya. She did this because Abreeya was too shaken and terrified by Kane's threats to move herself. With Ashley behind the wheel, they attempted to leave the dangerous situation. But as they drove away, their worst fears were realized. Bullets shattered the car's rear window, and one of them struck Ashley in the back of her head. Despite her injuries, Ashley showed immense bravery and resilience. She was rushed to a hospital for medical treatment, and she reported the terrifying incident to the police. In the aftermath, it became painfully clear that the perpetrators of these crimes were willing to go to extreme and deadly lengths to silence witnesses and maintain their reign of terror. On February 28th, at approximately 10 p.m., the familiar sound of the girl's car pulling up was accompanied by blood-curdling screams that jolted Charles, Abreeya's stepfather, from his routine. With a sinking feeling in his gut, he rushed to the front door, where the night's events would unfold before his eyes. What he witnessed was a scene of sheer horror. Abreeya and Ashley were being forcibly dragged towards the trunk of a silver Chrysler Concorde, their desperate pleas falling on deaf ears. Men, at least two of them, were involved in this nefarious act, one violently bundling the girls into the car's trunk while the other stood menacingly by, brandishing a firearm. As the armed man caught sight of Charles, he resorted to violence, opening fire in his direction. In response, Charles, driven by a surge of adrenaline and the instinct to protect his loved ones, retrieved his own firearm from his bedroom. He returned to the front door, where a desperate exchange of gunfire ensued between him and the assailants, as the car sped away into the night, leaving Abreeya and Ashley trapped in the trunk, their fate hanging in the balance. This horrifying event marked the beginning of a harrowing ordeal for the families and the Hamtramck community at large. The abduction of Abreeya Brown and Ashley Conaway sent shockwaves through the neighborhood, leading to a swift and intense police investigation to bring those responsible to justice. In the midst of the chaos, Abreeya managed to make contact with Charles via phone, whispering the chilling revelation that she and Ashley were confined in the trunk of a car. Panic and desperation hung in the air as authorities, including Hamtramck Police, Michigan State Police, and the Detroit Police Department, joined forces to locate the missing young women. As the investigation unfolded, cryptic text messages sent by Ashley raised concerns. Her messages simply read, "They got us," and "help." These ominous messages intensified the urgency of the search efforts. The search for Abreeya and Ashley began with an urgency that reflected the gravity of their situation. The crucial turning point in the investigation began with the initial incident on February 8, 2012. When Ashley Conaway reported the threats and the shooting she had endured to the police, it provided investigators with a starting point. This early report gave them key information about potential suspects and their violent tendencies. Brandon Lewis Kane, who had been involved in the February 8th incident, emerged as a person of interest. His prior connection to Ashley Conaway and the threats made during the initial incident made him a focus of the investigation. Investigators recognized the potential danger he posed. Gathering information from witnesses played a crucial role in identifying suspects. Witness statements provided law enforcement with insights into the individuals involved, their connections, and the events leading up to the abduction. Witnesses who were present during the initial incident and other relevant encounters were interviewed to build a timeline and understand the relationships between the victims and the suspects. As the weeks wore on, the families tried to remain hopeful that the two young girls would be found safe and sound. Sadly, those hopes would soon be shattered. The murders of Abreeya Brown and Ashley Conaway represent a heart-wrenching and deeply troubling chapter in the annals of criminal history. This distressing case exposed the brutal nature of the crimes perpetrated against two young women with promising futures, leaving a community and their families shattered. The arrest, trial, and subsequent convictions of Reginald Brown and Jeremy Brown, along with Christopher Lee and Brandon Kane, laid bare the horrifying details of a plot driven by fear, threats, and ultimately, a callous disregard for human life. The legal proceedings aimed to bring justice to the victims and accountability to those responsible. While the convictions delivered a measure of closure to the families of Abreeya and Ashley, the scars left by this tragedy run deep, serving as a poignant reminder of the devastating consequences of violence. The loss of these two young women remains a profound tragedy, and their memory endures through the pursuit of justice. Don't forget that your support through likes, comments, and subscribing helps us raise awareness about cases like these. Remember to stay updated by turning on the notification bell so you never miss a single video.